it is. Same thing we do every week. But we are here. I didn't know if I was going to stream tonight. The reason I took so long to get live is because it was just taking a little bit of time. It was giving me a little trouble getting set up. But we'll be live tonight. I'm going to do this TNA watch along. I got some things to do. Hope everyone's doing all right tonight. I'm also gonna be eating my dinner tonight, which is kind of a strange tradition at this point that I just eat dinner while we chat. My roommate made some incredible salmon, and I am loving it. Today is your fiance's birthday, but it was just too hot for you. 105, so we just did breakfast. Well, if that's what makes her happy, then good. I don't really have much to add to that, honestly. Oh man. So right now it is. Oh, that was cool. I was gonna say it's Rich Swan and Mike Bailey right now. I don't know how talkative or how much I've gotten to really talk about tonight. I'll probably do some like website updates and stuff. Excuse me. I'll probably do some website updates and stuff tonight just to give myself a little ahead of the curve. Especially because we're probably not gonna have a SmackDown. We'll have an Emergence watch along tomorrow, but usually I watch the pay per views a little more intensely or a little more intently. I assume Mike Bailey wins this, especially because A, it's pre-recorded, and I feel like I would have seen title change at TNA tapings like 3 weeks ago when this match got filmed. And two, Rich Swann is suspended in real life right now from TNA. So, yeah, massive shout outs to my roommate for making my food. Then I kind of have a then I kind of have a setup in our living situation where they usually make breakfast when we're all hanging out. I usually make dinner, but we got a pretty good schedule set up to ensure everyone's cooking and dealing and the one handling dinner in a fair amount. Feels very fair to me. I cooked the last 2 days. They cooked today, and then on Monday Sunday and Monday my wife cooked. And Mike Bailey with the dub. But yep, so we're one step closer to the end of TNA. I know the question was, will next week's episode be a premiere? Haven't decided yet. We'll see. Ultimately, it's just gonna kind of depend on how I feel. I gotta make sure it feels like a good finale to TNA. Oh yeah, we got the quote unquote match by elegance tonight. It's always a little eerie when it's always a little eerie when it goes on the commercial break on TNA Plus because it just kind of sits here. It just kind of sits here quietly. Oh man, but we had TNA day. That is the latest. I think that's a new record on the latest I've recorded in not ever because I think the latest I've ever recorded Universe stuff was like into the early hours of the morning when I was living on my own. I think I recorded until almost 3 a.m. once. Which, forewarning for those of you out there in the audience younger than me, you may have all that energy now. You might be able to be a night owl and an early bird now. Um, right. However, once I turned 23, so last year, it's been about a year now. Once I turned 23, I suddenly lost all ability to not be drop dead exhausted after 10 p.m. And yet I still stayed up till 2 a.m. yesterday. Nobody tell my wife. If you tell her, I'll know. Could never stayed up past 11:30. Yeah, I've been up past midnight every day this week just because I've been busy. Let's see. So the last thing I did win loss what that win loss wise was on Monday night during Raw when Ray and I watched together. Right? Let's see. History. Site history 8/26. That would have been Monday. Yes. Okay. So I suppose I will. Oh, looks like TNA is back. I will run through and get the updates done real quick. Let's see. So Noam Dar lost to Javon Evans. I remember that. Oh boy, a Brian Myers match. My buddy Dan is going to be so excited. He unironically loves Brian Myers. Like the three wrestlers who kind of define him as a fan are Brian Myers, Dexter Loomis, and Dustin Rhodes, and I think that's I personally think it's hilarious. I don't judge him for it because you know Joe Hendry has defined me for years, so I get it. Oh, speak of the devil, he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Because they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo. That's my guy right there. That's the next NXT champion. Probably not, but that's the next NXT champion. Probably not. It's so funny just seeing recaps of NXT on TNA. Oh, I love the little cut out of Hendry with the guitar in the crowd. That's cool. Oh, that's just rude. Oh boy, where's this going? The return of the Edge's bitch chant. I mean, Edge's bitch is kind of, in my opinion at least, the Edge's bitch stuff is kind of one of the first big things that helped take off Joe Hendry. Oh, hey Pierre, good to see you. You haven't really missed too much so far. Just Rich Swann lost to Mike Bailey, which pretty predictable in that regard. Not too concerned about that. And now Joe Hendry is here, so everything is better because he can wrestle and he can sing. Because Joe Hendry makes things better. Thursdays on TNA Wrestling. My biggest claim to fame as a wrestling fan is that I was in the arena the night Edge's bitch got debuted. Like, because that was the night that I got brought to the ring to meet Joe Hendry because they saw my sign in the TNA like road team, or like their community outreach manager saw my sign and wanted me to meet Joe, which was really cool. And I remember Joe told me to enjoy the show, and later in the night, he came out and he did his point up to the crowd and he was pointing at my sign, which I wish they would have shown on TV, but it was a very shittily made sign, I admit. Next time I go to a show he's at, I'll make sure I have a better looking sign if I take one. And of course, he announced he was debuting a music video, and it was, of course, Edge's Bitch, which I personally believe is his best music video he's done. It's the most catchy one. They're all catchy at this point, but you're the king of the indies and now you're rich, but to me you will always be Edge's bitch. Is just the catchiest one to me. Anyone knows NXT? You know how to do a picture of McIntyre. Yeah, I wouldn't dig too deep into it, quite honestly, Zach. I saw he did it. I follow Joe Hendry on everything, but I wouldn't dig too deep on it, dude. It's easiest to just chalk that up to Joe being Joe. Although speaking of Joe Hendry, the way today's episode of TNA Universe just starts with was not planned. I was recording it last night. I was just starting. I was very tired. I didn't start recording until almost 9 o'clock at night, and then the match loaded quicker than I was expecting, and so I didn't even have the start recording button pressed yet, and then just say his name and he appears started playing, and I was like, oh shoot, I gotta get recording immediately, and so I'm just drowned out for like the first solid minute or so of the episode because I'm just kind of recuperating myself as I believe in Joe Hendry plays. Yeah, yesterday's episode or today's episode of TNA Universe, like I'm not gonna say it's a bad episode because I don't think it is. It's one of those where it's like it's very clear it was done very last minute though, which is how it's felt a lot lately. Which is part of why I'm not doing TNA anymore after next week, is because I'd rather give you guys two good products than two decent products and a half-assed one. Because if I can get rid of the half-assed one and make the other two better, that's just gonna be the better move, in my opinion at least. And also, it stacks the rosters a little bit, having more names on them. I know there's a couple people Ray has asked for SmackDown. There's a few I've got going to Raw. There's some that are going to AEW. There's some that you'll be seeing on the Indies. And notice I don't say LAW. I don't say LAW for a reason. More to come on that one later. Not tonight, but later on. And then a massive, massive conglomeration of the TNA roster is going to be in NXT. Very excited for everybody to see the show, though, as everything happens. I just, TNA, I could really use something other than just a "we'll be right back" graphic for like upwards of 5 to 6 minutes. And now we do Ray's episode. I'm gonna also finish my fish. Let's see. So we have Marina Shafir against Riho. I know how Ray feels about Riho, so I already know the result of that one. Yeah, Ray is not the biggest Riho fan, which I get it. I do. I'm not a huge fan either. In my issue with her, um, at least for TNA Plus, commercials, show old episodes, some bits of what to expect as commercials. Yeah, I have TNA Plus. Like I have the advanced version with no ads, so I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. But anyway, yeah, my issue with Rio and Ray's issue as well is I look at her and I just don't believe she could beat anybody. She's like 90 pounds. And that's not even an exaggeration. That's like I'm pretty sure that's her build weight is like 97 pounds. Konosuke got the win on Ray EW yesterday, it seems, over Claudio. I feel like Claudio, I love him to death. I'm a big fan of Claudio. I feel like he's one of the former world champions in LS11 Universe who's had like the biggest fall off since losing their title. Hold on. Juice is on the screen. What's happening?
Will challenge Bryan Danielson for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. What a match! Ladies and gentlemen, your TNT champion is back. And I come here and I find out and I have a match against Dalton Castle. Well, Dalton, you wouldn't be surprised to know you are an inspiration of mine. But you need to quickly learn who and where to step in my locker room, Daddy. Because I am the champion of TNT. I am the network's champion. And you can come out here and you can make your little speeches as you walk to the ring, and you can be the most annoying guy in the world. But when you have a champion as entertaining as me, as not annoying as me, as one of the greatest champions alive
As not
as me,
annoying as me.
you
Oh my god.
just
Ray.
look like what you say every time you walk out that curtain. A boy! And a revolution? You're gonna find that out. And ladies and gentlemen, coming next here on
Oh my god. Ray and Juice is just too much for me sometimes. In the best way. When I say that, I do mean that in the best way possible. I mean that as like, it's hilarious. Alright, Kiera Hogan lost to Ronda Rousey. Dalton Castle against part of the No Entrance Gang, Action Andretti. This is also going to be very animated. Oh yeah, I'm excited to see it. Apparently that's this weekend, I think, is what Ray said. I don't quote me on that. Like, don't quote me on that, and don't go to Ray and be like, "Where's Revolution?" If it's not this weekend, I think it is, but I do not remember, and I'm also very tired. Oh, what a pop-up cutter! But yeah, I like the picture-in-picture promos that Ray is doing now. Powerhouse Hobbs. Yeah, that's the one I haven't given Ray the mod for yet. It's Hobbs against... Is that Darby? My screen is being weird. Yeah, that's Darby. Because I assume Darby picks up the dub. Mm-hmm. He sure does. I know Ray really likes Darby. I like Darby a lot too, but Ray likes him a lot more than I do. And I know it's crazy for me to say that when Darby was the AEW champion in Wrestling Universe at one point. For me to go, oh, I think Darby's fine. That was kind of one of those experiments where, actually, that answers a question Zach had for me on Tuesday. Like, what's something I thought people were going to really enjoy, and they were like, about Darby Allin's AEW title run. I thought people were like, oh, great. It's really exciting to see someone that isn't part of the Elite or one of the EVPs or one of their buddies. It's cool to see someone that's like, it's cool to see someone that nobody else would think to make champion as the world champion. But then more people were like, I'd rather Omega be champion when it came to Darby. And I was like, all right, cool. Love to see Joe Hendry picking up the dub. Oh, and there's Eddie Edwards. Oh, here comes Mike Santana to the rescue. This has been a this has been a very meh first 38 minutes of the show. Like a very meh 38 minutes. As always, if you got any burning questions for me, now is the time. I'm here for the next hour and 20 minutes, after all. Oh, there's Alicia Edwards. So I assume a leg grab is coming or something. Maybe not. Oh, okay. Is there a match at Berlin? I'm not looking forward to. I don't even know what the card is right now, man. Let me look. I'm supposed to do predictions for all this stuff tomorrow too, or tonight. One of them. I was gonna do a bunch of prediction stuff this week, but I don't know, man. I have just been so tired all week. Oh, let's see. And there's my normal little twitch that happens to me occasionally. Okay, let's see here. The card is currently Gunther and Orton, Cody and Owens, Terror Twins against Judgment Day, Punk and McIntyre, and the Unholy Union versus Bianca and Jade. There you go. Unholy Union versus Bianca and Jade. Could not fucking care less about that one. Bianca and Jade are just going to steamroll my favorites because they have nothing better to do with these two than keep the tag belts on them because they can't just keep putting the world title back on Bianca and they want to keep Jade on TV and blah blah blah. So there you go. There's my answer. I'm not looking forward to the women's tag title match. There's not going to be, as far as I'm aware, there won't be a SmackDown watch along tomorrow because I believe SmackDown is taking place in Germany tomorrow. Also, who would have thought today, going into TNA Universe, that the show was going to end with Chris Danger holding up the TNA and NXT titles over his head? Is that a sign for next week? Surprised Ludwig is in on the Berlin card. So LA Knight's doing an open challenge on SmackDown in Germany tomorrow, right? I could see Ludwig accepting it, or maybe Ludwig or Ilya is going to accept it, probably. I might see if I can find a way to watch it during work, but I won't be doing a watch along, obviously. Tomorrow is my last day at my current job as well, which is very nerve wracking, but also very exciting for me. Be wrapping up my time at my current job tomorrow. Getting ready to go back into substitute teaching next week after Labor Day. SmackDown is on at 7 tomorrow. Well, it's 8 for me. Keep that in mind. You're an hour ahead of me, or you're an hour behind me. And second of all, no, I don't think so. I think it still airs, but I think it's on tape delay. So I think they're going to be, I think from what I've heard, it's getting, it's going to air live in Germany and stuff tomorrow. But then here in the States, we won't get it until our normal time. Oh, man. I'm sure that Eddie Edwards and Mike Santana are having a fine match right now. I'm like 90% tuned out. But um, at the same time, it's just like I don't really have much investment in either guy right now. I'm still gonna do a watch along tomorrow night though, because we'll be watching Emergence tomorrow, which should also be a pretty fun show. Who do I think wins the tournament to challenge Braun? So Jay and Pete Dunne have already advanced. Royalties on that one, by the way, Hunter. Um, and then next week it's Dom, Ilya, and someone else. Dragon Lee, thank you. It's Dragon Lee, Ilya, and Dom, and then it's Ludwig, Seamus, and I don't remember who. But ultimately, I think it's probably I'd say Ilya, right? Like that feels right in my heart of hearts to say Ilya. But also, I could see Jey Uso, Jay or Ilya, one of the two. I think Carlito is in the other qual. Excuse me. All right, Santana with the win. Bronson Reed, thank you, Pierre. This is why it's helpful to have you around, Pierre. You're able to help with that like 30% of my brain that just isn't functioning in the night. Qdoba. Qdoba. So apparently Matt Cardona has a monster in mind to challenge PCO tomorrow at Emergence. Um, honestly, you think Cena should dethrone Braun? I don't know. Hammerstone and Eric Young up next. I'm trying to decide who I think will be the yeah, I don't know. I'm having to think on it. I'm also having to think on who I think is going to be the monster Matt Cardona has picked to fight PCO tomorrow. Because like I'm trying to think, could it be someone from NXT? Obviously, it won't be Obafemi. Like before anyone tries to jump on that thing, like oh, it's gonna be Obafemi. No, it's not. It's gonna be someone PCO can beat. I don't think NXT's got like big dominant people. Cruel from MLW. Uh, I wouldn't get your hopes up that anyone from ML. I wouldn't get your hopes up that too many people from MLW will show up in TNA with TNA's new working relationship with WWE due to because of the whole lawsuit thing that happened between MLW and WWE a couple years ago. It may just not even be anyone from NXT. It might just be someone's on the AEW roster or TNA roster. You can see my brain is really, really not all there. Like, part of me kind of wishes I hadn't started the stream because I'm really just stumbling over my own words a lot tonight. I guess it could be like a Jake something or a Hammerstone, maybe, if they want to just give us one on the roster already. If it's not Cena, maybe Sheamus or Ilya outside shop. I think it'd be cool to see Dragon Lee. Yeah, that would be cool. It'd be very cool. Tarzan, Duran, or maybe Falaba. Who knows, man? We'll find out. It's still really cool seeing Rosemary at NXT this week. That was a really nice surprise. I'm really glad that one didn't get spoiled for me. Let's see what's on Emergent. What's on No Mercy this weekend as well. No Mercy has 6 matches. It's got Roxanne and Jada, Kalani and Wendy, Oba versus Tony D, Chase U versus Fraxium, Wes and Zach, and then Ethan Page and Joe Hendry. Oh, and there's Steve Macklin. So it's Macklin versus Young on tomorrow at Emergence, which tells me that Macklin or not Macklin, that Hammerstone is probably losing. All right, let's see. Emergence has Kushida versus Kazarian on the kickoff show, which I will not be doing a watch along part 4. Mike Bailey, Zachary Wentz, Riley Osborne, Jason Hotch, Hammerstone, and Laredo Kid in the Ultimate X match. Macklin and Young, Spitfire and Jordan Grace against Ash by Elegance and the Militia. And then Hendry, Santana, and the Hardys against the System. And Nemeth versus Alexander in a 60-man Iron Man match. That's gonna be the interesting part. And of course PCO against the Mystery Monster. Eric Young, he's got the whole Doctor Doom mask going on. He's had that going on for a while, though. I don't know if I like or dislike Eric Young's Doctor Doom mask, personally. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who Matt Cardona's monster is. I'm looking to see if anyone's... Oh my god. Whew, excuse me. I like Eric Young with a little bit of stubble he's got going on. I prefer at least 5 o'clock shadow Eric Young as opposed to clean shaven. I know some people probably know him better as clean shaven Eric Young. I first discovered him when he came to NXT as part of Sanity, where he had like the shaggy hair and everything. So that's what I know Eric Young as. All right, TNA bring back Madman Fulton. They just did that last week, so I feel like it'd be. I feel like that'd be very, very, very underwhelming if it was just Madman Fulton a second time in a row. Because it was Big Con and Madman Fulton last week. I am doing my best not to fall asleep over here. For some reason, I feel like I always think Eric Young has had the title more than twice, but he has not. He has only had it once, or he has only had it twice. I, for some reason, thought he was like a 3 or 4 time champion. Bolton, it's kind of like it is a good shout, and I'm not gonna sit there and go, oh well, you're. It's not gonna be that because they very well could just be that they just do that again, but it's just like, I mean, it would be a very TNA thing to do to bring him back as a surprise, and then bring him back as a surprise, fucking 8 days later. Lashley, Lashley's not a bad shout, Zach. Lashley's not a bad shout. I feel like they would save Lashley for Bound for Glory personally, and not just a mid card match with PCO. But it's not a bad shout at all. That could happen. He kind of fits the monster criteria. Excuse me. Like I said, if I look at the NXT roster a little bit, oh, I clicked the wrong thing. If I look at the NXT roster just a little bit here, I'm like, I don't think other than Obafemi, there's really anyone in NXT that qualifies as a quote unquote monster. So I don't think it'll be anyone from NXT, as cool as that could be. I want Matt Cardona to start appearing in NXT as part of this crossover. You know? It still does bring me, and I'll show you guys this real quick just to show you what I mean. It does bring me so much joy that when you go to the WWE roster page, you got all this stuff here and everything. You got all the pictures on the side, and it's like, you know, it infuriates me to no end that the Wyatt Six return or showed up almost 2 months ago now. It annoys me to no end that the Wyatt Six arrived almost 2 months ago. What the? Joe Gacy's not even. Wait, hold on. Yeah, Joe Gacy's not even on the roster. Neither is Dexter Loomis. They actually took the. What? Okay. Well, now I'm just confused. Joe Gacy, Dexter Loomis, and have they also deleted Nikki Cross? Yes, they have. And okay, the plot thickens. Anyway, I was just gonna say I really like that even though they can't have him on the roster, they have a picture of Joe Hendry on here indicating that he more or less is a WWE guy. That was all I was gonna say. Hmm. Yeah, I was. Huh. Wonder what the deal with Wonder what the deal with all that is with the Wyatts not being on there. Oh, they have also they have also gotten rid of Camacho off the roster page. Camacho is no more on the WWE alumni section. Yeah, and Eric Rowan's been removed from the website as well. He was in the alumni section. He's not on here anymore. Interesting. Very, very interesting. How does Hammerstone actually get to win? And they took Bo Dallas off the roster as well. So okay, there's more to it. A Nightmare Pendulum for the 1, 2, and 3. Are they updated theme renders? I don't know what you're asking with that one. Quite honestly, I don't know what that means, Zach. Their renders. No, they're not even on the website at all. They don't have renders. They're not. They don't exist on WWE.com. That's what I'm saying. Like if you look for them on the website, they are not on there. They do not exist. Not in the alumni section. Not in the active roster. Nowhere. They've deactivated those five profiles on the website. Is what I'm saying. So therefore, no renders on the website at all for them. How's everyone else's night going? I do apologize. We're an hour 15 in, and I have not had much interesting to say so far. Whenever we could see a debut of the NXT Women's Title match. I assume you mean Julia or Stephanie Vaquer or I still cannot remember the Australian wrestler's name they brought in. One of those three, I imagine. I could see maybe one of them. The 180 in terms of character for Cody Deaner from cult leader, shitty cult leader, that in the design. The design sucked. I'm sorry. The design sucked. To now just peppy, upbeat hype man teaming with Jake something is interesting to say the least, I suppose. The athlete gets destroyed in the match. You say that like the athlete is an insult. Bianca was an athlete. Montez was an athlete. Like Corbin was an athlete. Your boy Pat McAfee's an athlete. Ridge Holland, athlete. Obafemi, athlete. Trick, athlete. So many of the people that we all like started as athletes. Just because they didn't cut their teeth starting on the indies and they did other stuff first doesn't mean that they're any less in terms of wrestling. Like, to use athlete as an insult, it just makes no sense to me. Like, Jada Parker is pretty decent in the ring. I'm just not super invested in her as a character or as a wrestler. That's just me. But I'm not going to sit there and act like she sucks. We got Jake something and Diener against ABC. I'm gonna assume the tag champs probably pick up the win here. I like ABC a lot. I think they're really good. Like hot take, Ace Austin and Chris Bay are good wrestlers. I know, unheard of. No one's ever said it before in their lives. Um, I don't think ABC have a match tomorrow, so I feel like it's only a matter of time before they show up in NXT. I think this weekend at No Mercy we got a Josh Alexander appearance though. I think Josh Alexander beats Nick Nemeth tomorrow night, and I think we get a North two-man power trip double champions, which means we could see Ethan Page start appearing in TNA, which would be kind of cool. Oh yeah, Josh definitely is costing Hendry the title tomorrow or on Sunday. Sunday. I will not be shocked if and when that happens. I will be deeply, deeply saddened by it. Like, do not get me wrong. I will be deeply saddened by it. All right. About 40 minutes left on the show now, at least. Apparently, Jade Cargill wrestled her 100th career match tonight at a live event. So good for her, I suppose. Finally at 100. Speaking of new signings to NXT, Julia is trending now. Delta, that's the name of the Australian wrestler WWE got. Apparently, a German female wrestler named Bazilla or Bozilla is signed to WWE now, and I must simply say, gentlemen, you had my interest. Now you have my attention. ABC. But yeah, I'm excited about the prospect of all these new names coming to the NXT Women's Division. Good lord. I will say, AJ Francis gets some height. Like he gets some height on these guys for the choke slams. AJ Francis may have one of my favorite choke slams right now. First class putting their hands all over those tag titles. They definitely are not winning those anytime soon. Oh, the match by Elegance is next, which means we will be ending with the contract signing or whatever with Nemeth and um Alexander. That'll be fun. Oh man. All right, let me publish the website real quick because I've gotten win losses are now updated through today's episode. I don't know what Ray's doing on SmackDown tomorrow, so I can't get a jump start there. And I most certainly don't know what's happening at AEW Revolution this weekend. Oh, there we go. I don't know if that picked up on the stream or not, but if you guys heard that just pop, that was my knee. I'd been trying to get it popped for the last couple minutes. My right knee is my kind of bum one, as a lot of people know. It's the one that tries to give out on me. It tried to give out on the stairs this afternoon when I was leaving work. It did a thing where it kind of jumps back or like pushes itself backward just a little bit. And so, unfortunately, I did not fall. I'm fine, but it's just my knee is a little messed up, and so I'll eventually go see a doctor about it if it's anything too serious. It's just it aches occasionally. It's not the end of the world. I'll get a knee brace if I need one. Really, I tried to get one a couple months ago, and I just couldn't find one at the store because I was at Kroger and I thought they would have it, but that's where I do most of my grocery shopping because at Walmart I get too tempted to spend money on other stuff that I don't need. Kroger, it's straightforward. All my groceries are there. Dom needs to be at least an IC champion by next year because not only is his character work, there's a video of him with Make a Wish kids. I feel like Dom will get a singles title eventually. Hell, I wouldn't be shocked if Dom became a world champion somehow, some way, like how we did it. God, I've got so many notifications on my Instagram DMs. My wife has sent me a lot of Instagram memes and reels the last 24 hours, so during this commercial, I'm going to take a look at them. Huh, man. Emergence tomorrow should be a fun watch along hypothetically. I don't know how I'm going to be entertaining for an hour during the Iron Man match. Okay, so a match by Elegance is just is just a Barbie themed street fight. Got it. My one hope is that maybe this matchup will be kind of quick. I mean, I assume Jordan Grace is winning. Like I said, it would have been a case of like. Here comes Jordan Grace. Imagine we get the North semi reunite, which could be fun. Yeah, I feel like that's probably what's coming as well. That's what I would imagine as well, my friend. Like I said, North two-man power trip. Let's do it. Put the TNA tag belts on them. Like, have them win the TNA tag belts while both being world champions. Hell, have them beat the NXT tag champs. Well, have each of them a tag title on each shoulder, world title around their waist. Why not? Why not? Yep, I heard about the old bastard documentary coming out on Netflix. I heard. All right, the match by Oh, I just the personal concierge is just a little too much for me tonight. If I'm honest with you, I can't handle him. I can't handle his voice tonight. I'm very tired. There we go. But yeah, it is match by elegance time. Yeah, and there's a feather chair shot. I mean, like I said, I assume that Jordan wins this. It's funny, just kind of give you guys an insight into my life a little bit. These last few days, I've been writing a lot lately. I've just been having a lot of fun writing, and that's what I've been doing in my spare time. It's part of why I accidentally took so long to get Universe done last night. Oh boy, he's joined commentary. Oh god. As if the TNA gods heard my prayers to not to hear the concierge and then laughed at me. Hey, the Resident Evil AMC, welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in to the TNA watch along here on Wrestle Luigi. Let's all pretend that Xander's actually in a little box and that he's not able to just make it go away. Good, good. I'm glad you guys are doing good. Glad you're here. It is good to have you. I do apologize if I do seem a little out of it. Oh, I appreciate the sub as well. I do apologize if I seem a little out of it, a little uninterested in the show. I'm not uninterested in the show by any means. I just had a bit of a long day. To bring people up to speed on where we're at in my life right now, tomorrow is my last day at my current job before I move to a new career as a substitute teacher while I work on getting my teaching certificate to become an actual teacher. And so I am spending, 8, 9 hours a day at my current job. And like I love the people at my current job. I like what I do enough to where, you know, I wanted to give the respectful 2 weeks notice and all that because it's just the right thing to do, especially because 3, 4 years from now I could find out. Um, but anyway, yeah, no. Yeah, what I was gonna say there is like, the 2 weeks notice is a very respectful thing to do, and I want to give them the respect. 3, 4 years from now, I could end up saying, I don't really want to be a teacher anymore. I guess I want to go back to what I'm doing now. I won't say what I'm doing now because I don't want to, expose where I work, who I work with, and all that. Then they'll be like, oh, Xander gave us 2 weeks notice. He wants to come back. We could use the help. We'll bring him back. That kind of stuff. But it's also like I like the job. I like the people there just fine, but I needed to move on to something else. But also in the same vein, knowing that after tomorrow at 5 o'clock, when I put in my punch number and I click punch out or log out, sign out, whatever, clock out, that's the word. When I click clock out, I'm never going back into that office building again unless, I am invited back as a guest for something. So it's weird to think about, And so I'm also kind of in the mindset of like it's my last few days at this job. I'm running out of things to do. I'm tired. They're putting a they're trying to put a tablecloth on the table and they are royally royally screwed up. I'll see you later, Resident Evil AMC. Thanks for stopping by. Oh boy, are those bedazzled knuckles? Yep, bejeweled brass knuckles. How about that? Oh, yep, Ash is about to go through that table on the outside, isn't she? Oh, jeez. One of either Ash or her stupid ass concierge is going through that table at some point. Like, I'd be willing to bet that there's no way that Jordan loses the title here. It's pre-taped, first of all. I feel like there would have been articles all about new Knockouts champion crowned and all that. Oh, oh no, diamonds. She's gonna get dropped on diamonds. This is the most expensive spot in TNA history. This one spot where Ash is gonna get thrown on the diamonds. This one spot is worth more than a this. I'm fucking up the joke. No, this one spot with the diamonds costs more money than a Knockouts contract was worth in 2011. And I say that and look down the camera because of the infamous story where TNA wasn't paying one of their former Knockouts champions, I can't remember which one, wasn't paying her enough to the point where she was working a side job at a sunglasses store at Universal and then quit TNA because she got recognized as the Knockouts champion. Like, that sounds right. I feel like I remember that story being a thing. Oh, there's Rosemary again. I know those diamonds are fake, but I am enjoying the fact that I can make the joke of, oh, this one spot is worth more than this. This one spot is worth this. This one spot is worth more than TNA was worth in 2016 before the Broken Hardy stuff. This one spot is worth more than TNA when they didn't even have TV tapings. Huh, this one spot. Oh god. Probably worth more than I make in a year. Oh no. Oh no. No way. Excuse me. Hmm. My wife just sent me a bless you text, and I think she's downstairs. So unless she's just in the room over there, that means that sneeze was that loud. Okay, she's confirmed she's in our bedroom, so she's across the hall. So that's a little less self-conscious for me. Oh no, not the Barbie chair. The Barbie chair has been broken. Oh dear God. Oh no. Shades of Samoa. And that is game, set, and a match. Which means we got 10 minutes left for Nemeth and Alexander. Oh, I've now seen a suggestion on Twitter for who Cardona should bring in to face PCO, and it's the best option. Fucking Blue Cane. How did we not think of that? How did we not think of Blue Cane?
there for this company for a long time, champion for a long time, or longest reigning champion. Face of TNA. Never been that back. Carrying that banner, a whole new set of pressure. So, quite frankly, handle that pressure. I looked up the wrestlers my whole life. Someone that I respected. So many that came before me, and I went, man, you that champion one day. But Josh, great wrestler, man. He's a flag bearer for the company, and respect. I was lucky. Any other night, it could have been someone else, but
Could have been Joe Hendry. That's all I'm saying, Nick. Should have been Joe Hendry.
one of the greatest in the world. I wonder why so many people know my name and don't know you. Is that because you're the flag bearer of TNA? Did you remember that? Or were you just good at wrestling? I dreamed about it, like I'm sure you did. And I said, I'm a fighting champion. Or in that Disney match, we'll beat the hell out of each other. I can have one day. I would die to get in the ring. Because I love wrestling. I study it. I live it. Don't worry about my family. Don't worry about who you think is hot right now or who you think is riding your coattails. Right? The champ thing. Like you would have in the old days. You got the package you're going to do. I completely understand. I've been there. I do. You want to be the champ? You want to be the best? It's face to face. I don't know how that worked for you. I assumed it was. You want a shot at me? Stand there, look me in the eye, and say, fight me. And prove how
I haven't decided if Nemeth is cooking or if he's stumbling in this.
hang on, this is a big deal. This is a former champ who never lost. He never lost. It's like, that would drive me insane. That would make me want to go, how do I have to prove myself to everyone else again and take that back? Stop.
They seem to be like slightly overlooking the fight. They're like, he never lost it. He never lost it. He got his rematch last year with Alex Shelley and lost.
Every way to backtrack and beat me away, and I've been there before. I'm the champ. Look me in the eye. Good point. This is the title he's never lost. So he made it very clear. He has to try something. This has been your goal. Has to happen. So done wrong. You're referring to something done wrong with me. No, nothing's wrong with me, Matt. Okay? What's wrong is the fans. Everybody here. Everything else is wrong but me. I'm the same Josh Alexander. I'm the best wrestler in the world. Still. People walk around this locker room and they refer to me as champ. I don't even have that. And you're not champ until you beat me. Everybody here knows it, whether they want to admit it or not. They respected what I did when I was champion. Nobody knows my name. Well, if you look in the history books, you'll say you respect so much of these heroes that you looked up to. Hey, I'll name them for you. Angle, Sting, Joe, even AJ. I am above them all. The longest reigning champion in this company's history. That forever belongs to me. Okay? There is nothing wrong with me. What's wrong with people like you come in here and what they roll out the welcome mat. Management's guilty of this too. They see a shiny new toy like Nick Nemeth, and all of a sudden, what, you're here for 3 months, and you main event a pay-per-view and get your shot at that. You came up short. Only to get me started on that name, Joe Hendry. It's all about you. Okay? We're doing this on my time, and we're doing this in my match. say I'm the best wrestler in the world. I'm gonna back it up. So looking you in the eyes right now, I'm saying, fight me, Rick.
They're getting me more hyped for this Iron Man match than I was.
TNA, they'll be better off. Josh Alexander is willing to do for this championship, quite frankly, is going to keep the simple next. That's it. The same old Josh Alexander. Hit with the time. The business changes. Wrestlers evolve. We become better every single day. That is what it takes to be a champion. That's what I'm willing to do to be champion. Not to go back and say, check the history book. Look back what I did in the past. Who the hell cares? What have you done for me lately? That's what this business is every day. 365 times a year. What has been done for you lately? Business for the title, for the right to hold that damn title. Longest reigning champion, he never lost it. That is fantastic. You know what that is? It is a page in a history book. When it comes to 2024 and being the best in the world, you don't get to talk about what you used to do. What have you done lately? And lately, cheap shot, fine. If it helps you win, great. You'll never be a champion. I can do everything you just said, but I actually back it. And I think, what Kurt Angle do? He choked somebody out, and he looked him in the eye and good. And now you say, look me in the eye now. Great. Weeks and months later, you're going to look me in the eye because we're about to fight on your terms. In an Iron Man. I can go all night long. Hey, well, find out. I've proven it before. Time and time again. Yeah, it's my match. I've done it before, Nick. I don't think you have what it takes. I appreciate that. I love that this is your match. This is your match. Guys, there's this one match that I'm really good at. There's this one. And then guys,
Okay, this is getting a little. This is drawing out a lot.
this title. While you can. And guess what? You want to know what I've done for you lately? Lately is tomorrow when I take that championship and I take TNA to be fight. I'm the face of this company. I'm the heart and soul. I earned that with blood, sweat, and tears. I spill more blood in that ring than you ever will. You want to question what I've done and what I'm going to do? You're in the hardest match of your life because I am the best wrestler in the world. Girls have evolving, getting better. You cannot get better. I am dead. Understand me?
There you go, an F bomb from Alexander.
You know why? Because I will fight to the death for it. Not eventually. Not
All right, all right, TNA guys.
right now.
This dragged on for like an additional 4 minutes. All right then. I suppose that is it. That is our stream for the night. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow.